afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
And after a 2-year, well, I don't want, it's in the headlines. I got to stop.
Okay.
All right. What a day out today,
Yeah,
huh?
absolutely perfect.
But first, top in our news today, Darrell Brooks returned to court today to find out when he'll be sentenced.
Something that has been a long time coming. The town of Madison has been absorbed into the cities of Madison and Fitchburg. But how much really changed?
And as we said, today is Halloween. We'll head to our patio to greet some trick-or-treaters, something we haven't done in a couple of years.
Yeah, it's nice to have everybody back. I'm looking forward to that. And tonight is going to be great for the kids.
Let's take a look outside. Spectacular. It's hard to believe it's the last day of October.
Yep.
And it's the treat that keeps on giving. Gary Canulty is in the backyard. Boy, this is something.
It is. Temperatures are in the mid-60s right now. We've got plenty of sunshine, and the next couple of days could be even warmer. As we take a look at visible cloud tracking, you can see those clouds that we had yesterday have moved off to far southeastern Wisconsin and northeastern Illinois. So Wisconsin right now in the clear. The rain, well, you can see that's across Indiana and Michigan, southern Lake Michigan, but staying away from us, just like we thought it would. Low temperatures this morning, a little cooler than forecast because we did have some breaks in the clouds. Notice Janesville stayed at 45, Madison dropped to 35, and temperatures were in the upper 20s north of the Dells. Current temperatures are very comfortable in the mid-60s to around 70 degrees. Lone Rock, the warm spot as usual, at 70. Madison at 65, and across Dane County, 67 right now in Belleville, 67 in Cross Plains, and 65 in Sun Prairie. For the trick-or-treaters tonight, oh boy, you can't beat a forecast like this. Temperatures right now in the mid-60s with mostly sunny skies. 6 p.m. will be down to about 58 degrees with clear skies. The only thing is that it'll get cool pretty quickly once the sun goes down. So by the time trick-or-treating ends by about 8 p.m., we'll look for a temperature of about 50 degrees. So all in all, a very nice Halloween forecast. As we take a look at first warrant traffic, not seeing any problems right now out there on the major highways. The Beltline, I-39, 90, 94, east side of Madison, no problems. A little bit of a slowdown southbound on Stoughton Road. Otherwise, I-39, 90 down toward the Illinois state line, I-94 eastward toward Milwaukee and US 12 into southeastern Wisconsin. No issues there, as I-93 or I-90, 39 and 94 heading north out of Madison and US 151 into northeastern Wisconsin. Just again, be aware that there'll be trick-or-treaters out, so slow down on the side streets. This is your News 3 Now first warrant traffic.
All right, Gary, we'll check back in a few minutes. Thank you. Darrell Brooks will find out in about 2 weeks if he'll ever have the chance to live outside of the walls of prison. Brooks was back in Waukesha County Court today to set his sentencing date. Judge Jennifer Dorough started the hearing by saying she will unseal search warrants in the parade investigation tomorrow morning. Brooks said he was placed on suicide protocol immediately after the verdict and said because of the suicide protocol, he hasn't received any documents related to the unsealing of the search warrants. The judge had Brooks removed from the courtroom less than 15 minutes into the hearing because he was again being disruptive.
The court did warn Mr. Brooks repeatedly that if he continued to be disruptive, the court would remove him to the other courtroom. It was my sincere hope that that would not need to take place today. I gave him the final warning, and then I indicated I would be turning to the state to ask them some questions, and if he interrupted that process, he would be removed.
36 victims' families want to speak at Brooks' sentencing, and 5 to 10 others want to submit them in writing. Sentencing could take 4.5 hours just based on that. There was a strong desire to have Brooks' sentencing date before the anniversary of the parade tragedy. That's November 12th. The sentencing date is now November 15th and 16th. Well, for decades, you've likely driven into and out of the town of Madison while in the city of Madison without ever noticing it. From today forward, that won't be the case anymore.
Madison and Fitchburg absorbed the town of Madison after nearly 2 decades.
Andrew Benstra explains how that change will impact something happening in a week. Andrew.
The town of Madison was founded in 1846, 2 years before Wisconsin was a state, and 13 years before the city of Madison even existed. But since 2003, area leaders have worked to mix the town of Madison and Fitchburg. The City of Madison Inspection, Fire Department, and EMS all took over services from the town of Madison in late 2020. The Madison Police Department began patrolling the town last week. But what do people do about voting? Where people have lived in the town forever, now in the city, with this change coming 8 days before the midterms.
A big number of residents voted at the town hall facility, and as I said, that's not a polling place anymore. So I would suggest that every single resident from the town checks the website.
People who now live in the city of Madison can look at the city's website for where their new polling place is. Most of these changes will impact new Madison residents. The city is absorbing about 79% of the town's population. The rest will go to the city of Fitchburg. With those new people and comes some more diverse communities for the city of Madison. At 5, we'll explain what that means and how the cities are looking to welcome people from all backgrounds.
We will see you at 5, Andrew. Thank you. The 2 candidates running for state attorney general continue to tour the state. Democratic incumbent Josh Kaul campaigned in Wausau today. Kaul touted some of his key accomplishments and his agenda for the future.
Our criminal justice system in Wisconsin has been underfunded for decades, and we need to invest to make up for that time that has gone back. And as the mayor pointed out, one of the critical ways we can do that is through increasing shared revenue. Those are the dollars that go from state government to local government, and it's so vital that we do that because it's our local governments that fund local law enforcement. It's our local governments that fund other critical local services.
And as you just heard there, Kaul is asking the legislature to funnel more money to local governments. At the news conference, Kaul was endorsed by Portage District Attorney Cass Cousins and the mayor of Wausau, Katie Rosenberg.
Kaul's Republican challenger Eric Toney was in Madison today for a press conference to criticize his opponent's alleged backlog of over 1,000 referrals for internet crimes against children. Such referrals have increased by about 400%, according to the Department of Justice.
Parents and families deserve to have answers from our Attorney General's office on how this happened, what is being done about it, and how it will not happen again in the future. And our Attorney General refuses to release the information.
Toney has filed an open records request for an organizational chart for the Division of Criminal Investigation. Toney also claimed that Kaul does not prioritize public safety, pointing to numerous unfilled positions within the Division of Criminal Investigation.
All lanes of US 14 are back open this afternoon south of Oregon after a crash involving a semi this morning. The crash was reported around 8:50 a.m. All lanes were blocked near Waterman Road. Dane County dispatchers said a semi and a car were involved in a crash. At least 2 injuries were reported at the scene. Oregon Fire and EMS crews and the Dane County Sheriff's deputies were sent to the scene.
The Supreme Court heard oral arguments in 2 cases challenging affirmative action in college admissions.
The High Court's now conservative majority could end the use of race as a factor when considering students at public and private universities.
Naomi Ruckham has more.
I've heard the word diversity quite a few times, and I don't have a clue what it means.
Affirmative action is on the line at colleges and universities across the nation. Monday, Supreme Court justices heard arguments in 2 pivotal cases from Harvard and the University of North Carolina. Both schools consider race among other factors when admitting students.
When does it end? When is your sunset? When will you know?
The attorney arguing against UNC's policy said while culture could theoretically be considered in admissions, race should not. Liberal Justice Elena Kagan responded.
The race is part of the culture, and the culture is part of the race, isn't it? I mean, that's slicing the bologna awfully thin.
Later, conservative Justice Samuel Alito had this exchange with the attorney defending the UNC policy about when an applicant can identify as part of a minority group.
Let's say the student has one grandparent who falls within that class. Can the student claim to be a member of an underrepresented minority?
Yes, we rely on self-reporting.
One great-great-grandparent. You're going to make me continue to go on.
Right. In the last 20 years, the Supreme Court has upheld affirmative action twice, most recently in 2016. But the court's new solidly conservative majority could lead to a new ruling.
It's overwhelmingly likely / certain that the Supreme Court is going to end race-based affirmative action, as certain as it was that they were going to reverse Roe v. Wade.
Newly appointed Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, the first black woman to serve on the court, emphasized race was just one factor.
When you give your race, you're not getting any special points. It's being treated just on par with other factors in the system.
The Supreme Court is expected to make a decision next spring. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
9 states already prohibit any consideration of race in admissions to public colleges and universities.
Wisconsin is not one of them. A massive search is underway after a bridge collapsed in India, killing over 130 people, a number that will likely continue to rise. Authorities say over 400 people were celebrating a religious festival before the bridge collapsed. People could be seen wading through water, calling for help, and holding onto cables. Questions over why the bridge, which was recently under construction, reopened to the public 5 days ago. Authorities in India have opened an investigation into the matter and have arrested at least 9 people already, including some from the company that made the bridge's latest repairs.
A big breakthrough in the cold case of 2 northern Indiana teens who were killed while hiking. 50-year-old Richard Allen is now charged in the deaths of the teenagers Abigail Williams and Liberty German. They were killed more than 5 years ago. The Delphi, Indiana resident was arrested Wednesday, but authorities are not revealing what evidence they have against him.
This investigation is still very ongoing. We're keeping the tip line open, the tip email open. We encourage everybody to continue to call in tips, not only about Richard Allen, but about any other person that you may have.
13-year-old Abby and 14-year-old Libby disappeared while hiking in February of 2017. Their bodies were found the next day in a wooded area, and despite a massive investigation, there was no success identifying a suspect. Last week, police served a warrant on Allen's home, towed his car, and searched his backyard. Allen is being held without bail after pleading not guilty at a hearing on Friday.
Well, today we got an update in the fatal Dane County Sheriff's deputy shooting from last week. On Sunday, October 23rd, Dane County Sheriffs were looking for Jose C. Jimenez, who is alleged to have committed a weapons violation. After setting up a perimeter, Jimenez fled on foot. At 3:15 p.m., Dane County Sheriff's Detective Clint R. Seltzner shot Jimenez. Deputy Seltzner had been placed on administrative leave, and the incident is under investigation by the Wisconsin Division of Criminal Investigation. Superheroes from the Madison Police Department visited and dropped off donations today at American Family Children's Hospital. Halloween is one of the best days of the year for many kids, but it isn't the same for kids who must spend it in the hospital. To bring a smile and a sense of normalcy to patients and families at the hospital, Madison police officers dressed up in superhero costumes to visit patients.
What an incredible opportunity for us as police officers and people who are in public service to just be able to spend some time with kids today. It's Halloween. Like, who shouldn't be able to smile and laugh and dress up?
Every year for Halloween, UW Health Kids staff also bring goodie bags of stickers, games, and toys to kids who are in the hospital and unable to trick or treat that year.
Boy, the officers are bringing it. I love their costumes.
They are.
Oh,
no fooling around. Well, still to come at 4, we're heading to the movies with our film critic, Will Loper.
We'll find out which movie leads the box office, and Will has suggestions of shows to stream when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, Live at 4.
With Pick and Save delivery, it's easy to get your special holiday foods brought right to your door. And that's music to your ears. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
This is Connie Ryan of Ryan Funeral Homes. While things have changed, it's still necessary for families to stay connected. And when it comes to the loss of a loved one, it's important to process and grieve and honor your loved one in a way that keeps everyone safe. We're doing this through intimate services and private virtual streaming so your family can be part of the service no matter where they are. Ryan Funeral Homes are here with your safety in mind and compassionate care in your time of need.
Habitat Restore is full of great finds at great prices for a great cause. With a unique inventory of high-quality, low-cost goods, you can save money and feel good about your purchase. Shop Restore Dane County today.
What happens to your body language when you use Dove Dry Spray? It shows. Try Dove Dry Spray. Our weightless formula with 1/4 moisturizers is effective and kind to skin, leaving you feeling instantly dry and confident.
The things to do this week.
You pour your heart into everything you do, which is a lot. So take care of that heart with Lipton.
Because sipping on unsweetened Lipton can help support a healthy heart. Lipton. Stop chugging, start sipping.
A 12-year-old girl can't legally drive a car. At 12, she can't even vote. But if this little girl were tragically raped or a victim of incest and became pregnant, radical Tim Michaels would force her to deliver the baby. He said it's, quote, not unreasonable for the state government to mandate rape victims to give birth. Would it be unreasonable if he were forcing this on you? Let him know on Election Day.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Looking for one of our most capable Ford SUVs? Okay, great. We've got you covered. Spacious interiors, innovative tech, good looks, and a legendary off-road experience. Check out our inventory today, or let us help you place a custom order. Getting into the perfect Ford SUV? Well, it's easier than ever. Yeah, we've got you covered. Now choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Ford Escape or Edge and get 0% financing for 66 months.
Not attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms. If you or a loved one were stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, call right now.
Call 1-800-336-0524.
Keep your holidays in sync with free pickup on all your fresh favorites from Pick and Save. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Welcome back, everyone. How do you like our dead flowers?
It's very nice.
For Halloween. Isn't that great? We got the pumpkins lit up.
We go all out here.
Oh, yeah. And the dead flowers. I love it. The National Retail Federation says spending this Halloween is expected to return to pre-pandemic levels.
With spending predicted to reach a record $10.6 billion. That's higher than last year's record. The Federation says consumers plan to spend an average of $100 this holiday. Costumes are the biggest expense at $3.6 billion, followed by decorations at $3.4 billion and candy at $3.1 billion. The Federation also says younger consumers, Gen Z, are celebrating more than any other age group.
Consumers under the age of 25 are turning out in full force. About 87% say they're planning to celebrate the holiday this year, and we're seeing the highest levels of spending in areas like adult costumes that we've seen in about 5 years.
Now that COVID-related restrictions are easing, they are more comfortable partying, going on bar crawls, and attending social gatherings. The Federation says they're also putting a focus on dressing up this year. I haven't spent a dime.
Humbug. Come on.
Apparently I'm not Gen Z.
Well, it's shaping up to be a severe season for RSV, the viral and the respiratory infection we've been talking so much about this fall.
The good news, we could have an RSV vaccine by next fall. 4 vaccines could be nearing review by the FDA, and more than a dozen others are in testing. A long-acting injection designed to be given right after birth is also in the works. In a recent clinical trial, it was 75% effective at heading off RSV infections that needed medical attention. It's great news considering RSV was the leading cause of infant hospitalizations in the U.S. even before this year's surge. We'll hear more about this when Dr. Potoff from UW Health comes on the program tomorrow for his weekly visit.
4 Michigan State University football players have been suspended after a scuffle at a game Saturday. The altercation happened in a stadium tunnel after the University of Michigan Wolverines defeated the Michigan State Spartans 29-7. Michigan State's coach said the players have been suspended from the team after he reviewed what he called disturbing electronic evidence of the incident. Video posted on Twitter from the Detroit News showed several Spartan players in an altercation with a Wolverines player at Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor. The suspensions will remain in effect until the investigation is complete.
Twitter's board of directors was dissolved following Elon Musk's takeover of the company. That's according to the securities filing today. The filing says all previous members of Twitter's board are no longer directors in accordance with the terms of the merger agreement. The announcement comes after Musk closed his deal to acquire Twitter on Thursday and quickly terminated at least 4 of its top executives, including the CEO.
Prices of wheat and corn on the global commodities market rose today. That comes after Russia pulled out of a deal that had allowed some vital grain exports from Ukraine to pass through the Black Sea despite the war. Together, Ukraine and Russia account for nearly a third of global wheat exports. A humanitarian aid organization said the consequences of Russia's withdrawal from the deal could be catastrophic for poor countries. The deal was due to expire next month, but efforts were already underway to extend it.
Stocks fall to start a busy week, but October was the best month for the Dow since 1976. Today, the blue chip index lost 128 points, closing at 32,732. The NASDAQ was off 114 points. The S&P 500 was off 29. Well, you'd think a horror movie would be #1 at the box office over the Halloween weekend.
It's exactly what you would think that, but here's what film critic Will Loper had to say. He has the numbers and reviews.
Hey, Mark and Susan. Hope you're wearing your celebratory leotards because Black Adam was #1 for the second week in a row at the box office.
I'm not peaceful.
The Dwayne Johnson-led superhero flick made $27 million.
I kneel before no one.
While the romantic comedy Ticket to Paradise, still very much worth seeing, made second with $7 million.
I knew it.
What? And the new horror film, Pray for the Devil, came in at $6 million, helped by the Halloween weekend, but the movie itself fails to bring much scares or originality to the box office.
When you enter the room of the possessed, you are walking onto a battlefield.
Over on streaming services, new on Netflix and among the best of the year so far is the film All Quiet on the Western Front. The German movie is based on the 1929 novel, most famously made as the Best Picture-winning film of 1930. And in that time, it's lost none of its power, following a 17-year-old German named Paul, who enlists in the army in 1917 during World War I, and as the film progresses, discovers the horrific realities of war. This new version of All Quiet on the Western Front is well worth watching, but it is a harrowing viewing experience, very effectively conveying its anti-war message. Also new on Netflix is the film The Good Nurse.
Mind taking a look at this?
The insulin in her system, it's a double medication error, which is really rare.
We understand that you work with a Charlie Cullen. Could he be involved in this?
Based on true events, the thriller stars Jessica Chastain as a nurse who suspects her colleague of being responsible for multiple patient deaths.
He's gonna get a new job, and it's all gonna continue.
New on HBO Max is the second season of The White Lotus.
Whenever I stay at a White Lotus, I always have a memorable time. Always.
Flirting is one of the pleasures of life. You're 80 years old.
Jennifer Coolidge returns from season 1 with a whole new cast playing the rich and privileged at the center of a murder mystery, this time at a resort in Italy.
What happened last night? Just been a series of very bad decisions.
You've had very bad luck.
And if you need something to celebrate Halloween tonight, stream It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown on Apple TV+.
It's the Great Pumpkin!
For Live at 4, I'm Will Loper.
Oh, that's always a Halloween tradition.
A couple of good movies on Netflix.
Yes,
wow.
Yeah, lots to watch.
Well, there's more at 4. Ukrainians not actually fighting against the Russians are doing what they can to help in the battle.
They're fighting back with their wallets. We'll have more on that story coming up after Gary's First Warn forecast.
More than 300
300 murders just last year. Terror at the Waukesha Christmas Parade. But defund the police radical Mandela Barnes still supports eliminating cash bail, releasing dangerous criminals back into our communities. Barnes says,
reducing prison population is now sexy.
Actually, releasing criminals isn't sexy. It's dangerous. Radical Mandela Barnes won't keep your family safe. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
At TSR, we transform your old, beat-up concrete into a beautiful, durable surface in one day. Hi, I'm Joey with TSR Concrete Coatings. We specialize in garages, patios, pool decks, basements, and more. We don't just coat over your old concrete. We start by grinding it down, then we apply the base coat and chip and seal it with our own proprietary sealant that will never chip or peel. Our coatings are beautiful, durable, ridiculously easy to clean, and are backed by our exclusive lifetime warranty. Our in-house team is ready to answer any questions that you have before and after the install. And right now on all projects, we're offering 15% off. Call the number shown below or visit our website for your new floor today.
Day floor. Remember this? Forecasts are predicting an unreasonably cold and snowy winter. Now's the time to winterproof your home with USA Insulation. 35% more efficient than traditional insulation. Our foam in your walls keeps the cold air out and your warm air in. It's like putting a coat around your entire home. Call now before winter and get a $500 early bird discount.
USA Insulation.
Hi, this is Lisa from 4Imprint. Yes. I'd like 50 welcome wows, 300 customer I love it, and 200 team member oh yes.
Certainly.
You know we got some brand new woohoos.
Dial up the wow factor with promotional products from 4Imprint. We specialize in awesome items that are certain to awe and guaranteed to deliver some ooh yes. From apparel, backpacks, drinkware to high-tech items. Wow.
I love it. Woohoo!
Go to 4imprint.com and find some wow now. 4Imprint, for certain.
Don't miss the 33rd Annual Winter Art Fair off the Square, November 12th and 13th at the Monona Terrace Convention Center. Featuring over 100 Wisconsin exhibitors with a wonderful selection of ceramics, paintings, glass art, wood, jewelry, and much more. Place your bids at our silent auction Saturday only. Children will enjoy the Young Collectors Corner. Buy local for the holidays. The Winter Art Fair off the Square. Put it on your calendar today.
Well, take a look at this. There are pumpkin carving contests, and then there are pumpkin carving contests. In the Florida Keys, they do them a little differently. Under the Waves, the annual underwater pumpkin carving contest over the weekend featured 18 scuba divers in competition. They carved their jack-o'-lanterns near Horseshoe Reef. That's about 5 miles off of Key Largo. 25 feet below the surface, the divers created everything from sharks to jellyfish to pirate pumpkins, and curious saltwater fish swam close to nibble on bits of the orange gourds that floated off.
What happened to the guts? What did they do with them?
They wash them
let them go.
Just let them go.
But there's a time limit because otherwise you run out of oxygen.
Yeah.
So.
Good point.
Good point, Gary.
Well, a NASA observatory captured the image of the sun that looks a bit like a jack-o'-lantern.
It shows what are actually splotches on the sun's surface that are cooler than the surrounding areas. That is really something, isn't it? The image was taken by NASA's space-based Solar Dynamics Observatory. While NASA calls it a smiling sun.
Here's the smile there.
Some Twitter users saw a bunch of other things, as you might expect. Some on social media compared it to the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and other people thought it looked like something from Ghostbusters, a lion, or various snack foods that bear smiley faces.
Kind of looks like the jack-o'-lantern that I try to carve.
Yeah.
That's what it usually ends up as.
Are you wearing...
Gary is wearing the most frightening costume I've ever seen.
Are you wearing a Packer tie?
I'm wearing a Packer tie just to scare people that I might become a Packers fan.
Well, you picked the wrong time.
Yeah, right.
Well, between the Packers and the Bears, I think, that's scary enough.
6:01, right? Well, the weather is not scary at all.
No, we timed this out perfectly, and the next couple of days, if you can believe it, it'll be even nicer.
Wow.
I'll have more on that and how warm it'll get in just a few minutes.
Hi,
Hi, I'm Dr. Aaron Schwab, General Surgeon at Stoughton Health. If you suffer from bothersome or painful spider veins or varicose veins, please join us for our upcoming seminar where you can learn what new procedures may be able to help you.
Give any room in your home a stunning new look and feel with Palisade wall planks from Menards. These planks have a natural wood grain or tile look, are waterproof, easy to install, and require no mortar. All Palisade wall planks are 11% off. Secure those planks with Loctite Premium. It's the strongest and most durable construction adhesive that you can buy. You can use it anywhere, inside and out. All Loctite adhesives are now 11% off at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
New in 2023, eye care Medicare plan members receive an allowance of $150 total per month to spend on items like eligible healthy foods, OTC products, home supplies, wellness care, or living support such as rent, utilities, and internet. All unused monthly funds roll over until the end of the year. If you have Medicare and Medicaid, call us, and a licensed sales agent will help find out if you're eligible. Rest easy. Eye care is looking out for you and your health.
Don't miss the 33rd Annual Winter Art Fair off the Square, November 12th and 13th at the Monona Terrace Convention Center. Featuring over 100 Wisconsin exhibitors with a wonderful selection of ceramics, paintings, glass art, wood, jewelry, and much more. Place your bids at our silent auction Saturday only. Children will enjoy the Young Collectors Corner. Buy local for the holidays. The Winter Art Fair off the Square. Put it on your calendar today.
Democrats defunded and dispirited our police, creating the worst crime wave in decades. Biden spent us into 40-year high inflation, drove gas prices to record levels, and opened our borders, causing a flood of illegal immigrants and deadly drugs. Mandela Barnes supports all the policies causing you and your family so much pain. He will rubber stamp their liberal agenda. Mandela Barnes sides with radical leftists, not with you.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
If you suffer from bothersome spider veins or painful varicose veins, please contact us at Stoughton Health to learn about what new procedures may be able to help you.
Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Well, trick-or-treaters, if they're not out already, will be out soon, and our Halloween trick-or-treat forecast looking very, very nice. Right now, sunny, 65 degrees. By 6 p.m., we'll drop to about 58 with mostly clear skies. Once the sun goes down, those temperatures will cool off, so you might be okay without a sweater or jacket to start out trick-or-treating, but you might need it by the time things wrap up around 8 o'clock. Temperature then down to about 50 degrees with mostly clear skies across most of southern Wisconsin. Doppler track. No rain across Wisconsin. We're in between weather systems. One that just kind of skirted to our south yesterday is now moving into Michigan and Indiana. They've been underneath the clouds, but we had some clouds yesterday. Those moved away, and now we're into bright sunshine. 3 things you need to know. It's going to stay mild. Temperatures at or above 70 for the first 3 days of November, if you can believe that. Remember, was it a week ago we had the 70-degree temperatures? I thought, well, that's probably it for the season. Not this year. We'll get a second chance. And then dry weather continues through Thursday evening. Then we'll see some showers later Thursday night. And then some showers Friday, Saturday, and then those should come to an end on Sunday. Friday, we could even have a few thunderstorms mixed in for good measure. But take a look at these high temperatures. They're going to be in the 70s for tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday, when the average high temperature is in the lower 50s. We'll still be in the mid-60s behind a cold front for Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday we drop off just a little bit as a cold front comes through, and then next week temperatures back closer to normal. 51 on Monday, Election Day Tuesday, looking for a high of about 45, so that's more typical what we'd see for this time of year. 8 to 14-day temperature outlook calling for below normal temperatures from Madison on toward the west. The eastern part of the country is what will stay warmer than normal, but precipitation expected to be above normal to our west and below normal to our our south and east. As we look at weather track right now, though, much of the country is dry. That weather system passing to our south, not bringing a lot of precipitation. A few showers through the southeastern part of the country, and in the Pacific Northwest, they're getting some heavy rain and mountain snows in Washington state, but the rest of the country, like I say, is very quiet, and we're kind of in between the system to the southeast, another weather system to our north and west with a weak cold front near the U.S.-Canadian border, generating some clouds, but you can see how we're right in the middle with lots of sunshine. Air sinks, dries out a little bit, and those temperatures very comfortable, mainly in the lower to middle 60s statewide here in Madison. Right now, 65 degrees. Planning your night, look for clear skies by morning, down to about 40 in Belleville, 39 in Perry, 41 in Mount Horeb, and then across the rest of southern Wisconsin, high of 38 or a low of 38 in Janesville, 39 in Platteville, and 38 degrees in Baraboo. But we'll warm up quickly tomorrow. That dry air warms up. Sunny skies for tomorrow. Unseasonably mild. High temperature at 70 degrees in the 7 to 10 day forecast. 71 Wednesday and 70 on Thursday. All 3 days dry. Then look for some shower and thunderstorm chances on Friday. By next week, those temperatures back closer to normal. Weekend should be mild, but we'll have some off and on showers, especially Saturday. Sunday, I think at some point they'll come to an end. Maybe even earlier in the day, depending on which computer model you look at. But next week definitely looks dry, but cool with temperatures in the mid-40s.
Will they fall back this weekend?
And yeah, time falls back. Temperatures will fall back as well.
Right on time.
Right.
All right, Gary, thank you.
Thanks, Gary.
Well, amid Russia's relentless attacks, everyday Ukrainians are fighting back with their wallets by donating money to military crowdfunding.
Nick Robertson explains why that effort has received a recent boost.
Amidst tumbling leaves, Leisha Kano takes her kids out to play. Hard to imagine 3 weeks ago, a Russian cruise missile slammed into this park. CNN's Fred Pleitkin was there, reporting on the massive new barrage of attacks. Lesia works nearby, remembers it clearly. A colleague was injured. It motivates her to do what she's been doing more and more of lately, donating to military crowdfunding.
Definitely push us to do it quicker and more and more.
In her family, they've been donating for months.
All my family, even my mother, and even my daughter, from her savings, we sent money and we didn't tell each other.
Turns out they're not alone. Putin's recent assault on Kyiv has drawn instant outrage and a backlash his troops may regret.
12 millions of Ukrainian hryvnias were donated during that week.
Slava Banik helps run a government app simplifying donations. More than 18 million users so far.
So, for example, I make a selections, and then the next step, I just can pay this by the Apple Pay.
And you've now just given $2, more or less, to the army of drones?
Yes.
To buy drones?
Yes.
The stats, the day of the big attack, he says, show Putin miscalculated if he thought Ukrainians wouldn't fight back.
Donations on the 10th of October began being bigger, maybe 4 or 5 times more than the day before.
So the attacks made people give money?
Yes.
If all the drones bought with your help took off into the sky at the same time, it would look like this.
Crowdfunding began with the war. Is really taking off now. Drone donations particularly popular recently. Some military units actively promoting the impact of donations. In this case, a drone that drops a bomb on Russian troops.
Here is the main place where we collect all the technique, equipment, walkie-talkies and drones and other stuff.
At crowdfunding NGO Come Back Alive, their warehouse and Aladdin's cave.
Here is like screens from the command posts.
Donations buying much more than just drones. Their shelves filling off the back of Putin's attack spikes.
And we collected about $130 million since the beginning of full scale.
That's a massive amount of money.
For Ukraine, it's a massive amount of money.
Big money. Government officials estimate many hundreds of millions of dollars across all crowdfunding platforms. Do you mind that the money goes that it might kill Russian soldiers?
You know, they occupied my country. They went here to kill my children. Why I should care about that?
Winter and more airstrikes are coming, but so too a Ukrainian windfall Putin's troops will reap.
Well, coming up next year on Live at 4, we take you to a creepy doll exhibit in Chicago.
And then coming up next hour at 5, there are a number of school referenda coming up on Election Day. Our Tahlil Moeddin will break down what voters are facing in Wanakee, coming up at 5.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
Maybe she could sell her house.
What could go wrong?
Like listing your house, then dealing with all the trouble, expense, not to mention closing costs. We Buy Ugly Houses can buy your house fast for all cash as is with no hassle. Call or click to sell quick.
And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand when everything's made to be broken. I just want you to know I am. I just want you to know I am.
The house before you, over 30 years old, still has its original windows. Boom.
There's no need to be afraid of old windows. Call Feldco for 50% off.
It's the biggest sale of the season. 50% off Feldco windows, plus no money down and no interest until 2024.
50% off ends Halloween. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
I see your hard work, everything you do to try to make it. But people continue to be left behind. I'm running for Senate to put more money in your pocket. Ron Johnson's had 12 years to make things better, but costs are still rising, and all he's managed to do is write a tax cut for himself. I believe better is possible. I believe hard work can pay off, and I'll never stop fighting until it does. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Looking for one of our most capable Ford SUVs? Okay, great. We've got you covered. Spacious interiors, innovative tech, good looks, and a legendary off-road experience. Check out our inventory today, or let us help you place a custom order. Getting into the perfect Ford SUV? Well, it's easier than ever. Yeah, we've got you covered. Now choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Ford Escape or Edge and get 0% financing for 66 months.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
Maybe she could sell her house.
What could go wrong?
Like listing your house, then dealing with all the trouble, expense, not to mention closing costs. We Buy Ugly Houses can buy your house fast for all cash as is with no hassle. Call or click to sell quick.
New at 5 today, the town of Madison joins the cities of Fitchburg and Madison. News 3 Now takes a look at how that will affect civic life for current residents.
Mother Nature provided the treat this Halloween with sunny skies and mild weather. Unseasonably mild weather with high temperatures around 70 degrees expected for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I'll let you know when the next chance we can expect for rain is at 5.
And ahead at 6, Wanakee hopes to relocate its nearly century-old elementary school with a referendum. We break down what the district would like to do with the funding tonight at 6.
Well, when the lights go out at the Chicago History Museum, dolls that have spent decades locked away in storage emerge from the shadows to play.
Now, just in time for Halloween, the museum is shedding light on its assembly of creepy characters.
The Haunted Dolls and History's Horrors collection seeks to share with visitors ghost tales about the Windy City's past. Jackie Kostick takes us on a tour.
Some new figures are hiding out inside of the Chicago History Museum's Crossroads of America exhibit.
There are 13 dolls that are lurking in areas that they do not belong.
Until recently, the chilling toys were just haunting museum storage. Now, visitors can stare into their vacant, glassy eyes and learn some scary secrets about the city's past.
All the dolls have link to Chicago and Chicago history.
Museum curator Charles Bethay says Chicago has plenty of ghost stories.
Real tragedies and disasters such as the Eastland disaster or the Iroquois Theater fire, to some of the more popularly known ghost tales like the woman in gray or the woman in red who threw herself off allegedly from the Congress Hotel. This particular doll has been in our collection for a number of years.
For decades, she was stored next to a gigantic distorted mirror.
Her face, over the period of time, has become disfigured. So you have to ask, what did she see in that reflection?
And meet Lullaby Lucy.
This one here is actually one of my favorite.
Lucy has been spending her nights at the museum in a peaceful slumber. Or has she?
So we're wondering, is she dreaming? What are her nightmares of?
Visitors are provided clues about where to find the dolls, if they dare to search.
There are some that would definitely send some chills up and down visitors' spines.
But like any nightmare, the doll's visit is only temporary. Soon, they'll find their way back to the museum's darkest corners, where they keep the city's deepest secrets. Jackie Kostek, CBS News, Chicago.
Oof, no thanks. All right, after a 2-year hiatus, the trick-or-treaters have returned to the backyard patio.
We're going to hand out some candy and meet our little visitors. And a big one when Live at 4 continues.
To the beautiful Bruce Company Winter Wonderland. You guys wait all year long for this time of year. It's what you guys are known for. Nobody does it better.
I do think about Christmas sparkle 365 days a year.
I know you do. Only a woman who wears this headpiece will actually admit that.
Yes, and we do spend about 10 weeks, my team and I, setting this up, and we just want you all to come in and be inspired by our magical holiday wonderland.
You have outdone yourself. So it kicks off Thursday with Ladies' Night.
So Ladies' Night is a really fun event, and if you're a guy, you can still come. We won't turn you away. But we'll have treats, and we'll have music, and some specials, and a really great raffle. You buy a ticket and you can win a great prize, and all the benefits, all the proceeds benefit Gio's Garden.
Awesome. Now, one of my favorite things that you do is all the hard work with all the trees for the tree walk. If you want to come get inspired for your own tree, this is the place to do it.
Right, so that kicks off on Friday. We have a little map and you can walk around, vote for your favorites, leave us comments if you like. It gives us great feedback, and also you get a chance to win a gift card.
Awesome. Something is new on Saturday out in the greenhouse.
Yes, Saturday we have our artisan food fair. That's 11 to 4. And so we have local makers and bakers. You can come in and purchase some treats, maybe try some samples. Really fun. And then on Sunday, we have a store-wide trivia contest. So there'll be stations all over the store with trivia questions about Christmas and about the Bruce Company. And again, a chance to win gift cards.
You guys are always throwing new things into the mix. I love it. Thursday through Sunday, the Bruce Company is the place to be. Thank you, Miss Lisa.
Thank you,
Good working here. I'm Emmy Fink, and
I'm Lisa Briggs.
Go ahead.
And we are buzzed into Madison.
You don't need me anymore.
Tim Michaels and Tony Evers have very different plans for Wisconsin. Tim Michaels wants to ban abortion, including in cases of rape or incest. Tony Evers wants to get costs down. Michaels would jail the doctors who perform abortions. Evers would lower costs. And while Michaels said gay people shouldn't leave their house, Evers is still really set on that cost thing. So here's the choice. Tim Michaels' plan for fewer rights and more division, or Tony Evers' plan to drive costs down, down, down.
For Clinton Anderson, our community is his top priority. He's delivered for middle-class families on the Beloit City Council, and he'll keep fighting to lower costs for us in the Assembly. Jeff Klett's priorities are all wrong. He supports dismantling our public schools, wants to slash community services to give tax breaks to his billionaire backers, and he'll vote with extreme Republicans to enforce Wisconsin's abortion ban, which could send doctors to prison. We can't afford Jeff Klett.
Well, it's been a couple of years because of COVID, but we're back.
We're back. Happy Halloween, everybody. And we've got a couple trick-or-treaters here.
And we got our usual suspects. Kevin on the, what is that called, the Fairman?
Yes.
All right.
We'll talk to him more about that in just... Oh, there's
someone at the door.
Okay.
Come on in.
Come on in. Hi, honey. This is Zoe. This is your niece,
This is my
Liz,
niece.
Mark.
Hey.
What do you say?
What do you say?
Thank you.
Okay.
Here, honey, take some candy. You're Captain America. That's a costume. Liz, thank you for bringing her. Great to see you.
Okay. She's a little overwhelmed by everything here. Uh-oh, there's the doorbell.
Okay, here comes somebody else. Come on in. Hi, guys. This is Vivian and Emmett.
Hi, how are you?
Happy Halloween.
What do you say?
Are you Spider-Man? And what are you, honey?
Mirabelle.
You're Mirabelle. There you go. Take what you want. All right, happy Halloween. Can't decide. It's a very tough to take both.
Take them. You can have both.
You can have both.
We're generous here.
Yes. Happy Halloween.
Kids of all sizes.
This is Kyle on our web team. Hi, honey.
Hi.
What's your name?
I'm Rachel.
Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Here we got Ken.
Who's this?
This is Kent.
Oh, I forgot dog treats.
Is this your baby?
This is our baby.
It really is. Here's some dog treats we can use.
Hey. Oh, we got.
So
He's a tiger.
So he's a terrier, retriever, lab mix, whatever you want to call him.
No, he's a tiger.
He's a tiger.
Oh, he's adorable.
And of course, I'm a proud Missouri Tiger, so today he's Truman Tiger.
Oh, that's perfect. You want to take some candy?
There we go.
All right.
Wow.
It's gone.
All right,
Over
thanks.
there.
Happy Halloween.
There's the door's ringing.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Come on in, honey. Oh, you look so pretty. Oh, thank you. This is Ruby and Olive. Hi, Bubba.
How many times have Ruby been on this?
Come on in. Nice to see
6 years? Bubba's one of our editors and photographers. What are you guys?
What are you?
What's your costume?
A fairy princess.
You sure are.
You certainly are. And how about you, honey?
I'm a woodland creature thingy.
Generic.
Here you go, honey. Take some candy.
And Bubba, what are you?
Mexican wrestler.
All right.
You look so cute. I love your headdress. Here, you want some candy?
I can tell you a fortune.
Oh, very good. Very good. The weather is going to be perfect, right? We're going to.
And our retired chief engineer, Kevin Rupert, is back playing the theremin. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm enjoying the theremin and lovely weather for Thanks for the Festival.
Good to see you.
How does this work?
Well, basically, it's a radio circuit in here, and when you put your hand near the antenna, it makes an oscillator sound, and you change the pitch with your hand. You don't have to touch it. You change the pitch with this hand, and you change the volume with this hand.
Very cool.
That is
It wouldn't be
very
Halloween
cool.
without you, Kevin. Thanks for coming back.
Thanks.
Enjoy retirement.
Okay, can a T-Rex have some candy? Yeah? Don't take the whole bowl, T-Rex.
Halloween 2022. Thanks to all the kids, and we'll be right back.
I'll never forget January 6th, watching my fellow law enforcement officers defending the Capitol, defending our freedoms, defending democracy, and then 5 officers died. But Ron Johnson is making excuses for rioters who tried to overthrow our government, even calling them peaceful protests. Johnson defended Donald Trump's lies and even supported efforts to make it harder for some people to vote at all. Senator Johnson's just not for us.
And Citizens United is responsible for the content of this ad.
Democrats defunded and dispirited our police, creating the worst crime wave in decades. Biden spent us into 40-year high inflation, drove gas prices to record levels, and opened our borders, causing a flood of illegal immigrants and deadly drugs. Mandela Barnes supports all the policies causing you and your family so much pain. He will rubber stamp their liberal agenda. Mandela Barnes sides with radical leftists, not with you.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
The upcoming holidays are hectic enough without having to worry about appliances breaking down. Family-owned Brothers Maine is having a Veterans Day sale featuring kitchen and laundry deals on GE appliances. The lowest prices guaranteed. Feel like family. Brothers Maine.
Over 800 convicted criminals released. 270 murderers and attempted murderers released. 44 child rapists released. Tony Evers' parole commission has released hundreds of violent criminals early, including some of the worst killers in Wisconsin history. Evers' liberal policies are making our communities less safe. Tony Evers put criminals first and our family's safety last.
New at 5, after 2 decades of planning, the town of Madison is no more. News 3 Now assesses what this will mean for former residents as they join the larger cities of Fitchburg and the city of Madison. That's coming up next at 5.
As political ads bombard you with campaign promises and claims to capture your vote, News 3 Now gives you a reality check, clarifying the candidates' messages and finding the facts to help you make informed choices. Reality Check, Wednesdays on News 3 Now at 6.
Here's a live view for the WISC-TV Skycam. Lots of sunshine this late Halloween afternoon. The Platteville-Queanby Radio Skycam also showing sunny skies over southwestern Wisconsin. Temperatures very comfortable. Lower 60s near Lake Michigan, 70 in Lone Rock, Madison right in between at 65. Across Dane County, 66 in Stoughton, 66 in Cross Plains, and 66 in Wanakee. We'll be right back.
In every corner of our state, Wisconsinites feel the impact of a changing climate, from the effects on our crops and livestock to the damage to our roads and highways. That's why Governor Tony Evers has a plan to take action and protect our state. It will get Wisconsin to 100% clean energy, lower power bills, grow our local economies, and create more than 40,000 jobs right here in Wisconsin. Tony Evers, focused on doing the right thing for Wisconsin families.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
All units, all units. Reports of an abortion at Central Hospital. Officers needed to detain doctor.
If Ron Johnson has his way, he wouldn't just ban abortions. Doctors could go to jail for it. And Johnson's tried for over a decade. He even co-sponsored a bill with no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman. And said if women don't like an abortion ban, they can just move. But it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
At TSR, we transform your old, beat-up concrete into a beautiful, durable surface in one day. Hi, I'm Joey with TSR Concrete Coatings. We specialize in garages, patios, pool decks, basements, and more. We don't just coat over your old concrete. We start by grinding it down, then we apply the base coat and chip and seal it with our own proprietary sealant that will never chip or peel. Our coatings are beautiful, durable, ridiculously easy to clean, and are backed by our exclusive lifetime warranty. Our in-house team is ready to answer any questions that you have before and after the install. And right now on all projects, we're offering 15% off. Call the number shown below or visit our website for your new floor today.
One-day floor. More than 300 murders just last year. Terror at the Waukesha Christmas Parade. But Defund the Police radical Mandela Barnes still supports eliminating cash bail, releasing dangerous criminals back into our communities. Barnes says,
reducing prison population is now sexy.
Actually, releasing criminals isn't sexy. It's dangerous. Radical Mandela Barnes won't keep your family safe. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
In today's Final Touch, the perfect place to spend Halloween.
A castle in Romania is said to be the inspiration for the home of Count Dracula. Costume tourists flock to Bran Castle, which is perched on an outcrop of a rock overlooking a river. The castle is the closest match in the Transylvania region to the home of the fictional vampire described by author Bram Stoker in the 1897 novel. The castle is a popular tourist site for its association with Dracula, as well as his long history as a fortress and residence of Romanian royalty. During Halloween, visitors are greeted by actors in gruesome costumes and spine-tingling decorations and video projections of Dracula himself. No thanks.
Not on my bucket list.
I prefer our backyard patio.
Yeah, I do too.
All right, that's our time for now. Happy Halloween. Be safe out there. We'll see you back here again tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.